Ninja Gaiden 4 was just revealed at the Xbox Developer Direct. EA slashes financial guidance. Tons of games announced new milestones. All of this and more explained in what you missed last week. Last Thursday, Xbox hosted its Developer Direct, showing off stellar gameplay from Doom the Dark Ages, now confirmed for May 15th, South of Midnight on April 8th, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 on April 24th. Oh, and Ninja Gaiden 4? Co-developed by Team Ninja and Platinum Games, and Shadow dropped Ninja Gaiden 2 Black with the Direct. Ninja Gaiden 4 is an Xbox first-party published title launching this fall. 2025 is a surprisingly big year for the IP with 4, 2 Black, and Ragebound. Xbox is firing on all cylinders as a massive publisher of hopefully quality titles in 2025, as they are also looking to release Avowed, Outer Worlds 2, and rumors of an Elder Scrolls Oblivion remake this year, along with Gears of War E-Day. And sticking with Xbox, Phil Spencer had two interviews, one with Danny Pena and the other with Destin. With Danny, Phil states that they will no longer put walls up around where creators can release games, and that more games will continue to release on PlayStation and Nintendo. He also touches on why someone would buy an Xbox if this is going to be the case, with him wanting hardware to win based off capability. The most popular games are on the most platforms, and Spencer wants Xbox to be a platform for those creators. With Destin, Phil reiterated his no red line remark when it comes to what games can be ported to other platforms, and that Starfield was no exception.
Indiana Jones has an exclusivity window, to be fair. Can you solidify that Starfield's staying put for the time being?
No.
I actually made an entire video about Xbox's hardware plans and why Xbox is releasing more games on other platforms while also not killing hardware entirely. So if you're interested in a deeper dive on that, check it out. Sonic X Shadow Generation sells 2 million units, an additional 500,000 in 2 months. Shadow Generations is selling faster than the original Generations back in 2011, which did 1.85 million in 5 months. This is slightly slower than Sonic Frontiers, which was at 2.5 million after a month. But Generations is a remaster with a stellar new campaign, and Sonic in general has seen a resurgence in video game sales, backed up with actual good games for once, and an amazing movie franchise. Sonic 4 just got announced to release March 19th, 2027. The Blue Blur hasn't seen better days in a long time. EA slashed guidance for its financial year by hundreds of millions of dollars due to underperformances from global football and a little bit from Dragon Age. As EA puts it, football had been growing 2 years straight, but has now lost momentum. From Europe, we know FC25 was only slightly down in unit sales over FC24. So the idea that this hundreds of millions of dollars comes from a lack of units doesn't hold up. Ultimate Team would then be the culprit of this decline. Why? I could not tell you. Fans seem to hate the game just as much as they did last year. I'm not in the weeds on soccer. What I am, though, is excited for the new Mass Effect. So when I read that BioWare once again has a dud on their hands, I weep. Dragon Age the Veilguard underperformed by nearly 50%, only reaching 1.5 million players out of 3 million EA expected. This expectation was not unwarranted if we look at prior releases. Dragon Age Origins shipped 3.2 million in 2 months. Dragon Age 2 shipped more than 2 million in 5 months. And Dragon Age Inquisition had the best launch of any BioWare game up to that point, and it would then go on to be the best-selling BioWare game ever with 12 million sold. Despite not having much competition that holiday, Dragon Age seems to have not resonated with both the fan base that bought up the 3 prior titles at much faster rates and the wider market that is probably too busy living their social lives out in Fortnite. This next one, I never heard of before, but Needy Streamer Overload celebrates its 3rd anniversary with 2 million units sold. The game has you, the significant other to a girl wanting to hit 1 million subscribers, help her reach that goal in less than a month. Not everything appears to be as it seems, though, if this is what I find when searching on YouTube. So, yeah, if you're into visual novels that go into psychological horror, Needy Streamer Overload is on PlayStation and Switch for $15.99 and currently on a $6.39 Steam discount that ends in 2 days as of this video going live. This is one of those few instances where the developer gave a bunch of sales milestones, and we can see that this game has been a steady seller since release. Mortal Kombat 1 finally hits 5 million sold after a disappointing launch following the success of MKX and 11. This result is after 16 months. Shortly after launch, MK1 was at almost 3 million, and then 4 million after 12 months. So another 1 million 5 months since then. MKX sold 5 million in just 6 months, and then almost 11 million after 4 years. MK11 had an amazing start by selling in its second month almost double that of any prior MK month 2 in the US, selling 8 million in 18 months, surpassing 12 million 10 months later, and 15 million a year after that. I would blame the pandemic for MK1's low launch. The pandemic caused a ton of people to pick up MK in 2020 and 2021, and that was MK11. The gap between MKX and 11 was 4 years, and 11 to 1 was nearly 5 years. But for the vast majority that played MK11, MK1 was only 3 or even 2 years later. A large chunk of the fan base didn't feel the need to upgrade so soon. MK1 has similar legs to X, even if launch was smaller. There is clearly interest in the IP still, just not pandemic levels like with MK11. If Injustice 3 or even a new DCIP is next from NetherRealm, MK2 might return to the explosive launches of X and 11 because of time away from the IP. Balatro, a deck building roguelike that won Best Indie and Mobile Game at the Game Awards 2025, also hit 5 million sold last week. At launch back in February, it made $1 million in 8 hours, 250,000 units sold in 3 days, 500,000 in 10 days, 1 million in 28 days, 2 million by early August, 3.5 million in early December, and then finally 5 million before the first anniversary. It looks like winning at TGA mixed with the holiday season boosted Balatro's profile to push another million plus units in just a month. Now for country sales data. Circana released its December and full year 2024 report for the US market. Do note software is ranked by dollar sales, not units. Like I predicted in last week's video, December declined year over year as well as 2024 overall. Nothing catastrophic, a 1% decline overall thanks to hardware, but the industry has plateaued in recent years. We have seen record amounts of layoffs over the past 2 years because of the slow growth. The industry has to find ways to make sure growth is still achievable. Black Ops 6 was the best selling game for both the month and year. EA's football series takes up numbers 2, 3, and 4 for December, while the 2024 rankings are more diverse with Helldivers 2, Sparking Zero, and NBA taking up the top 5. Hardware saw declines for all three platforms, PS5 down 15% in dollars, Switch and Xbox down 38% in dollars. PS5 was number 1 in dollars and units, Switch number 2 same metrics, and Xbox number 3. Again, that Xbox video goes into the unit sales of 2024 for Xbox and PS5. So if you want to learn more, check that out. In the UK, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD was the top selling game, followed by Black Ops 6 and FC25, with other new titles Dynasty Warriors Origins at number 10 and Tales of Graces F Remastered at number 12. Japan saw 5 new games make the top 30 for week 3 of 2025. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD was number 1, selling 107,000 units. Dynasty Warriors Origins was number 2, selling 64,000 units. Tales of Graces F Remastered sold a combined total of 41,000, the number 3 title. Sin Duality Echo of Ada Deluxe Edition sold 5,200 at number 10. And the Kenka Bancho Double Pack sold 2,100 at number 19. Switch once again sells more this year than last at nearly 48,000. PS5 and Xbox saw slight declines from last week. The 2024 comparison isn't a pretty one to make. As always, thanks go out to Chris1964 for the work they do in keeping up sales threads over at InstallBase. With all of that now known, do you know, if you're subscribed, that you should hit the like button if you like the video? Both of these actions help me in the algorithm growing this channel so more people can find this content. If you've done all that, it's now time to know what's up next this week. Microsoft will report its Q2 financials that cover October and December. Xbox expectations were for high single digit declines due to hardware and relatively flat content service growth. Other than that, and the weekly UK and Japan sales updates, this week doesn't have much going on. Next week, though, we'll have a bunch of company financial reports, so we'll get a lot of updates then. Thanks for watching. Take care.